What's up, everybody? Danny's here, and we are back at it again with another video. But before we get into it, make sure you check out all the links in the description below. So today, what I have noticed is that the good news and bad news for GTA 6. So the good news is GTA 6 will be releasing in May 26, 2026 on the Xbox and the PS5. But the bad news is GTA 5 will not be released on the Nintendo Switch 2. Well, I'm not sure how I feel about that though, but I kind of feel upset because I wanted GTA 6 to come to the Nintendo Switch 2. And the bad news is it was delayed it's going to be delayed and will be released to May 26, 2026. So apparently I'm hoping for GTA 6 to come to the Nintendo Switch 2, maybe in the next Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. Fingers crossed for the next Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. I mean, pretty much though, I think Nintendo is still gonna work on working and making more Nintendo Switch games, and there's gonna be more Switch 2 games that will be coming to the Nintendo Switch and the Switch 2. Well, Nintendo needs to do one console at a time, but they could do both Nintendo Directs, the Switch 1 and the Switch 2 Direct. I'm not sure about that though, because I noticed that Nintendo is putting newer games on the Nintendo Switch. So if you cannot get the Nintendo Switch 2, did you also know you can use Game Share on your Switch 2? So this is your console, right? Like, this is my Switch console, and here's the Switch 2. For example, if someone has a Nintendo Switch 2 like me, and if someone doesn't own a Switch 2, you can use Game Share though, because here's what the Switch 2 game will look like on the Switch 2. I mean, that's really good to have though, but you need to have a player do the following steps in order to do Game Share for the Nintendo Switch 2. So you can do Game Share by playing Switch 2 games on the Nintendo Switch. That is the only way you can play Switch 2 games on the Nintendo Switch, is doing Game Share. Because I noticed that the Switch 2 cartridge cannot fit on the Nintendo Switch. But luckily the Switch 2 can play Nintendo Switch games, which is good though, because you can play Breath of the Wild. For example, here's the thing. For example, if you want to play Breath of the Wild on the Switch, this is the Switch 1 edition. For example, if you want to play Zelda Breath of the Wild Switch 1 edition on the Switch 2, you'll have to make sure the Switch 1 version works though. And if it doesn't work on the Switch 2 version, on the Switch 2, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Switch 1 edition, it only works on the Nintendo Switch 2. If you have Zelda Breath of the Wild Switch 1 edition, then it might not work though. But if you decide to buy the Zelda Breath of the Wild Switch 2 edition, then it will work though. So eventually, some of the Switch 2 editions only work for the Nintendo Switch 2. I mean, some of these games are being re-released, so definitely I would not buy any of these games if I were you, because I already have them. But there are some games that have DLC, to be honest, though. I mean, apparently I am buying the Switch 2, though, hopefully, because I noticed that the Switch 2 is not like a Switch console, but it's a second-gen console. So here's the thing. I think Nintendo Switch 2 has Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, so I think definitely it only works for the Switch 2, because it's one of the newer consoles I would get, definitely, the Nintendo Switch 2, because it has all the exclusive games like Cyberpunk 277, Cyberpunk 277 Digital Edition, or the Deluxe Edition, whatever you want to call it. And there's going to be Split Fiction 2 that will come to the Switch 2. I mean, we have some exclusive games coming to the Nintendo Switch, and plus we have Fortnite coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 at launch, so definitely I will play Fortnite on the Switch 2, definitely though. I'm really excited. Let me know if you guys are going to play Fortnite on the Switch 2 when it comes out. Let me know in the comments below, are you still going to play Fortnite on the Nintendo Switch 1 or on the Switch 2? Let me know though. I think I'm going to play Fortnite on the Switch 2 because it'll have better gameplay, better graphics, It would be really cool though. So anyways, I think that is going to wrap it up here for today's video. I really hope you guys do enjoy the video. If you do, make sure to hit that like button if you enjoy the video. Leave a comment and share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe if you are new to this channel. Make sure to hit that bell notification every time you get notified when I post a video. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Peace!